Chairman, we're live.
Okay, welcome everybody in the audience and online. Today is July 5th. This is a special meeting of the Board of Equalization. At this time, I would please ask everyone to rise and follow me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to get right into it. These are all assessment appeals. Our first one is going to be SL 2321 Highway Chapel. Do you want to wait a few minutes see if he shows, or do you want to jump down to the next one and come back?
I scheduled him at 9 a.m. and he was notified. He asked for the address of where the hearing would be, and I emailed it back to him. He did not confirm one way or another if he was going to be here for sure. I just thought since he asked for the address of where the hearing would be that he would.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll hear Highway Chapel, the next one, and if you guys have got his rebuttal letter in your packet.
Yes. So Highway Chapel did submit a incomplete application by April 15th as required by law. You guys denied it because it was incomplete. And then he filed an appeal, which is what you have in front of you, is what he submitted.
Appeal is just the letter stating, okay.
Yeah, it basically is pretty much a repeat of his incomplete application in April.
So what kind of a value do you have on it? We don't have those.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Here we go. So he has two records. One is for the church building. So he has 1.047 acres, average land grade. He's right there on 3rd Street on the main drag. So the church has a value of $268,558. And then there's his house and detached garage and another small pole building. So those improvements total $461,329.
So do we know if he's living there? Is
Yes.
that their residence? Okay.
And his land value is $239,581 for a grand total of $969,468.
Thank you.
He submitted the appeal with no additional information. We're really left no other option than to deny it because he didn't complete the application and submit what we asked for.
So the church one is the one with the white roof?
Kind of the L
Oh,
shape, the
so
big
green one.
building.
So the parking is in the back?
217 is
Okay.
the church building. 217 is the
And the house?
church, 215 is the house.
Correct.
The house is 250, okay. Okay, so what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we deny the appeal on SL 2321 due to lack of information.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Move to second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So now we'll go to the next one. This is JW 23. Oh,
Do you want to do the Alzar decision? Yes or no?
Brian, I want to make sure we're on the right page here. Do you want us to make a decision? Can we today on Alzar? Okay. And you don't think they're coming in? Okay. Well, then I'm gonna, hang on a second, let me bring it up here. So, as you guys know, we've had a lot of information on the Elzar School. After some in-depth study by our appraisers and our prosecutor, we found, I think it was all 5 parcels were not eligible for the exemption. Is that correct?
That's what we decided.
No, I think,
Parcel one, as I understood anyway, is not eligible, so that whole parcel will go on the rolls.
Right.
Land
Yeah.
and improvements. Parcel two, I believe that entire parcel, let me just check here, is going on the rolls
Yep.
is in its entirety. Parcel three, it looks like we are going to exempt 22.3836 acres and 2 utility sheds. And the rest of it goes on the rolls. So the overall total value of land and improvements that is going to be assessed is $1,813,431 on parcel three. On parcel four, we are going to exempt 267.3608 acres. We're gonna have 1 acre on at market value. The house and attached garage is going to go on the rolls. And the pole barn, so the 16 by 24 pole barn, the 28 by 48 flat barn, and the 27 by 57 pole building are exempt. On parcel four, and then
so the land isn't.
1 acre is going to be assessed for where the house is.
Right.
And the other 267.3608 acres are going to be exempt.
Gonna be
So
exempt.
what, okay, if they were to go on the rolls, would they go on as waste? That 260 some acres, or would that be?
I'm just running it as exempt. It's not waste, but there will be a zero value on it if it's exempt.
I think Mike, and I brought this up earlier, is the issue is the cattle next door are gonna end up on it by fall. So I
Well,
don't know
that's
how
kind
you're
of a
gonna.
separate matter that,
Yeah, we can't weigh that in there. Let's say physically wanted to put them in there.
Yeah, and that may be a business decision later on because it's gonna create a huge fire hazard.
right.
I'm just questioning how they are using that much property for educational purposes.
They're not.
They're not. I don't think they are either. And so that, that's my concern, is that we're exempting something, a huge parcel, and I just don't feel like that there is that much of that parcel being used for educational purposes.
I would agree.
And
I think-
that's up to them to bear the proof, not us.
And I think the big issue is the rafting business kind of, to me, makes the whole thing non-exempt because it's a big chunk of their income and it's kind of off school hours when there aren't really any students there. To me, that was kind of the tipping point for that one.
I will do whatever you guys order.
We're good so far.
So parcel four, you want to leave that 267 acres is exempt?
Exempt? Or do you want me to?
Isn't that what you're doing, is putting exempt,
Well, the 267 acres are gonna have a zero value
zero value?
unless you order me to do something different.
I think we should watch and give them a year to see what they do.
Okay, see how that evolves into something has an educational purpose to it, but I think we flag that one for further review next year.
Okay.
They want to put an ag exemption on it, run cows on it, that's fine, but, just having a few trails through the middle of it doesn't state to me that that is educational purposes.
But if they do
Well, the other-
ag, then it's outside the school's purview then too.
And should just be taxed as regular, and they can apply for an ag exemption on
Yeah.
it. Same thing with parcel 5. We don't have any basis for this year, but I'm questioning how much is actually being used for educational purposes for 5 months of the year. And it's not really scientific based to have that much ground for education. So I think both of those parcels need to be reviewed next year.
Well, parcel 5, since it was purchased late December, or in December of 22. Um, as of January 1, it wasn't being used for educational purposes, so we are recommending that that one go on the rolls.
And I think that one is irrigated. Parcel 5, that used to be part of the Allen. There's a
I'm-
ditch that goes down through Clayton's and goes clear to that chunk of property. And then the big parcel on Big Creek, because there is a creek going through that.
Oh, yeah, that's number
Parcel-
4. That's parcel 4.
I don't know if Frank had a water right. Probably has a stock water right, but I don't know if he irrigates that bigger chunk of ground.
No,
Do
he
you know?
doesn't have to. It irrigates
it's wet.
itself. It is very, very marshy and wet. So Christie, go down and to the right a little bit. The big one right there. Click. Nope. Yeah. So
Can you expand that parcel, Christie, to show the ditches or drainage?
I think I'd X out
I
of
don't
it.
know that, but what does that have to do with?
Well,
that?
if it does come on, it's gonna be valued irrigated ground versus dry land, and there's a big difference there too.
Right. It's all right. Okay.
Some kind of ditch going through there.
Oh, yeah. It's,
Yeah, see, it comes from the north through Allen's into that property.
Mhm.
it's very wet and marshy. Which, I mean,
That begs to differ too. I mean, you
And
can
the
put it
other-
into conservation and that's fine if that's what they're trying to do with it.
Yes, but-
it's not educational purposes.
but the assessor's office does not, we do not give a
No, does
discount
not.
for
Water.
conservation easements. That's a federal tax break.
Road that goes clear back to the river. And I don't know what's going on in that area, but it looks like maybe some dredging. This is all big, dredge stuff too. But you can see the ditches up here. And I think there was something here that he built in Big Creek to the south at one time. But that's all it's in for now. We'll just have to watch it.
Okay, so am I to understand on parcel 4, the big one that's highlighted, that we're only going to assess 1 acre where the house is, and the house and attached garage, and exempt the outbuildings and the excess acreage of 237 acres? Is that what you're ordering?
That's what I would.
There'll be a 0 value on the 237 acres and the
267.
outbuildings.
And the issue is, as that grass and next door goes off, the cows eat it down, they're gonna wanna bust into this.
Well, they'll have to take that up. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
fence, they'll have to work on their fence.
What's really interesting is you can see where the river used to run through that
Mhm,
at one time. The river really moves a lot.
It does.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion then that and I don't know which number it is.
It doesn't have an appeal number. It's just the Alzar.
The Alzar
Senate Appeal.
School Incorporated Property Tax Exemption. We deny that.
And it-
And accept the appraiser's recommendations.
Do we do parcel 5? Have you already done that?
Parcel 5 is going on the rolls because it wasn't being used for school use as of January 1st. So it'll
Okay.
be in at full value.
I'll second it then.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, with the caveat that we're gonna watch
Sure.
parcel 4 and 5 for next year.
And the same thing may
Like
happen
those.
with Highway Chapel. They may start having service there again and it'll come back off. It's the way it's supposed to work every year. Okay, now do you want to move on down the list? W 2329.
Justine? Is she
Yes,
here?
ma'am.
Justine, did we swear you in? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, on the other day.
Okay. Come on up.
You swore at her. Look at that. She doesn't even wanna come see us.
I don't.
And Sue, I didn't sign anything
Not
for
me.
Highway Chapel. I haven't signed
Am I
that. one.
sitting over here?
Well,
Am I sitting
I
anywhere?
don't think there's anywhere to, the prosecuting attorney's office is going to write the decision up on Highway Chapel.
Okay.
And we
Yeah.
will submit it to him.
I'll have a written decision for you on Monday.
Monday to sign then, okay. Thank you.
Green Mountain Ranch.
She might be in a teleconference right now, but
Are you ready? Can I start? All right, this is appeal number JW 2329. Property owner Christopher Murphy, subject property RPM 040-10030-170. Subject property address 1033 Fireway Drive. Subject property is located in Spring Mountain Ranch. The parcel includes 2,680 square foot home built in 2005, graded as a good plus. Below are the values for the last 3 years. The appellant offered 5 comps. Comp A is a current listing. Comp C sold in 2023. Comp D was a disqualified due to involving multiple parcels. Comps B and E are qualified sales and were used. If you want to see my spreadsheet on the back, I kind of checked
Give them
theirs.
copies.
I did.
Okay.
Yes. So the bottom 2 are the ones that qualified for the appellants. And so we have ours that are in Spring Mountain Ranch. We have the square footage coming in around 486, and theirs is coming in at 303. So I feel that the value is fair and
I
should
think you're a
stay
little low.
where they are at. In my
Still amazes me how much they've gone up in just 3 years,
No, I know.
2 years.
So the square footage value is low because of the age of the house?
I believe so, because the other ones are a little bit higher.
This is what, 95?
Yeah, 95.
He's receiving more depreciation.
So
than the
yes,
others.
And he's on an excellent land grade. I believe he's on the golf course where his house
He's got
sits.
him on the map.
So he's asking us to reduce this to $1 million versus $1,000,001.
And there's stuff next door that's sold for
This is
1,380,000.
2680, the other one is 23, 25.
So if he upgraded and put the $100,000 into it, he'd still only, then we'd be at 1.2 and stuff around him still selling for 1.3. So
I don't know, I think
I don't,
140,
I think you're very fair.
I think it's pretty good right where it's at. Good job.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we deny appeal 2329.
Seconded.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
You have the next one as
Yeah, I
well.
do.
You want me to sign this one?
No. I've got the original right here.
Thank you. This one's in Tamarack,
Spring Mountain Ranch,
Spring Mountain.
Spring Mountain.
condos.
Okay, we're gonna move on to JW 2330.
All right. We have the property owner is Leonard Family Trust. Subject property numbers RPM 04370000140. Address is 927 Cottage Court. The subject property is located in Spring Mountain Ranch condos. The parcel is on the golf course and includes a 1,144 square foot home built in 2000, graded as a good. Below are the values for the last 3 years. The appellant offered 6 comparables. Comps B and F are 2023 sales. Comps D and E are current listings, and comps A and C are qualified sales and are listed on the top 2 lines of the spreadsheet I provided, which is attached in the back of the packet.
Is this a townhouse?
So it's its own dwelling. So it doesn't have any attached walls to anybody else. It's
Okay,
alone
Okay,
and on the golf course, so it's kind of hard to find comps for it.
It's a townhome, basically.
do you have a picture of it?
Yeah.
Just
So
the
he's
house?
comparing to the Mission Street and the Davis Avenue, yeah. Little different area of town.
Yeah, his
Awesome.
comps all have wall, you know,
You just click on the
joining
parcel,
walls.
Yeah.
you should be able to pull up the pictures.
I mean, they're attached, but they're separate dwellings.
Well, ours are just separate,
There we go.
like little houses.
Oh, they're separate little houses.
Yeah, is what he has.
Oh, I know which ones those are. Yeah.
Um,
So that's not a townhouse, it's more like a.
Mhm.
yeah, so the comps I found were all condos or, so the first one was off of Mission Street. You know, it's in the flight path of the airport. The second one, we have the same comp as him, but we were reported to the homeowner is a little bit higher at 603, and he has it at 571 for some reason. Not sure on that one. But I think his is fair, seeing as how he has his own dwelling and not sharing walls with anyone else.
Well, the year prior was 628. I mean, didn't go up about 70,000.
Yeah.
His went up a whole lot less than a whole lot of the rest of the people. Wow, what a jump between 21 and 22, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But the average price per square foot is 563. He's sitting at 594. But again, all those are ones that have to share walls, aren't sitting on the golf course.
Yeah, they're inferior to the subject.
Yeah.
Does that include that,
Much
your
older.
first parcel and your comps? That one that was built in 2004?
That's the one
same
that's on the
square foot?
flight path. It's not.
It's not, it's like a condo or?
Yeah, it's
Located up.
not
Main
as
Street?
nice.
Do you factor
Dwelling, I would say.
Oh, shared walls, okay.
do you factor anything when it's
At the
why the value-
cemetery.
adjacent to a golf course?
Cemetery all the way
That's
wrapped
usually
around it, too.
addressed,
There's a cemetery there?
usually that's addressed in the land value, but if it's a condominium, there is no land value. That land value is absorbed into the actual condominium itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we do take that into account.
Do you know exactly?
Okay.
They're trying to-
What-
Some needs
The
to-
RPM for the other one?
Cemetery.
You guys want to see any other pictures or
Or the
comps
parcels?
or anything, or?
No, this, I mean, it's a superior product just because it's in Spring Mountain Ranch. I mean, Mission's got the cemetery wrapped all the way around it, so it's a little quiet
Right.
at night. maybe.
Yeah, this has that fairway right there.
Mm-hmm.
Aspen Village, I mean, there's just nothing even, that's not comparable at all.
No.
Spring Mountain, so.
That's why all the Spring Mountain subdivisions
Oh,
are
ma-
all in their own neighborhood.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we deny the Leonard Family Trust appeal.
I'll second.
all in favor, please say aye.
I,
Aye, motion carries.
Jerry, you're gonna be up with the next three. And if I were you, I would give them a copy of all three because it's all the same issue.
Sure.
Thank you.
Terry, did I swear you in
That last week.
last week? Okay.
Mhm.
So we're gonna move on to JM 2331.
Well, they're all the same issue. This is that Hilltop
Okay.
area issue.
Oh, okay.
This, so Ricewig Investments LLC own 3 contiguous lots, lot 51, 52, and 53. And Jerry's got all the information for you on this.
Are they asking for the 25%?
Well, they are getting the 25%
Well, they already got it.
reduction.
Okay. They want it on the house too? Oh, wait, you said they're bare lots.
They're bare lots. So this property owner is being treated the same as all the other property owners up there with a negative 25% reduction on the land, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Did you give him a copy of your letter?
I'm getting all three copies together right
Oh,
now.
gotcha. So while Jerry's getting organized and getting all the documentation for you to review,
I can't read the guy's writing.
31, so this is 2332.
we do
Patient.
have a
The same
hearing
basis
scheduled
for the
at 1
They're all
o'clock.
adjacent.
They're all adjacent to each other.
And Jen's gonna present that one, and Anthony was gonna call in and be on the phone to help present this one with Jen, that the property owner is not a personal appearance. And then we have one at 1:30 where she wanted to be here, and I have not gotten confirmation if she's back from South Dakota or not.
So are all these just dirt?
Yes.
It's duplicates from the appellant as far as his submitting evidence of the parcels.
Mm-hmm.
There are no comparables. All he did was on all of the parcels, submit a listing for 3 different parcels.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and as Sue mentioned, they are getting the 25% discount that was agreed upon last week with Hilltop.
And the reason, the same reason that Hilltop did. Okay,
And your parcels are all in the same area? They're
Yes,
all
ma'am.
Sold comps.
They're all from the same area, and what I did, the reason I chose these comps were, 2 of the comps were average, the 3rd comp was average good, same as the subject. When I did so what I did was an average of all 3 comps, and that came to $141,899. And that's within 1% of the subject's value.
just 1 acre lots.
They average from 1.045 to 1.223 are the subject lots.
So this first comp here, is this yours or his? Because that one has, I think it's 3.08 acres. Is that his writing? or-
That is right. That's what he
Okay.
submitted to
Okay,
us.
okay.
Yeah.
One point two.
I think this is a pretty easy peasy too.
Yep.
Whole area.
The first thing we did was check to make sure he was getting the 25% reduction, and he was on all 3.
That's already reflected.
Pardon?
25% is already.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. On all 3 of them.
All 3. Okay.
And I thought somebody said last week that they had a sale up there last week in that area.
Yeah, I had 3, I had 1 improved sale and 2 bare land, with me. I didn't bring them with me today.
But they were in the better part of the,
Well,
what was it?
yeah,
where the roads were built, they were in a different area than Hilltop.
But these parcels are valued
Yeah,
less than
that's
those.
all Hilltop.
Yeah.
Christie, can you you want us to pull it up? Because they're all three parcels together.
Mhm.
It's all three of those right there, those long skinny lots.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing you gotta think about too is on the other side, that's all state land, which will probably never be developed. So they got an access to a lot of playground back there.
The one that was the cell, time adjusted, is on that top also on the left. One of the, right above where the square is, Christie, on Collier View Road. No, on the, go left. That square, right, that one.
This one?
Nope, now right above it. That one sold this last year. At 129, well, that one sold in 21, so time adjusted to 175. And it was an average good, so that one probably has a good view.
How much acreage was it? 1.2.
Christie,
1.2.
His largest one is 1.2.
if you click on 57, lot 57.
What did that one sell for?
I was
Did you
looking
say?
at 57. It was dated last year, I think September.
Mhm.
Is that portion of the road as much of a challenge as the other portion of the
Oh,
Um,
road? Question.
that's a good question.
It's not, it's got some challenges. The further you go south, the worse it gets.
Where it goes around the end of that ridge, it's really terrible.
Yeah.
steep.
Down,
Where,
back up.
So that comp wasn't maybe as comparable as the other one up there, where it also is up on that rim.
Both sides. That one you said was sold. That whole piece going up. What do you say? A mile from the very end was steep.
About maybe here, right through here.
Yes.
Really bad.
really bad.
So
You know, so you
these
guys
properties
see,
then,
there's a trail that goes up into this four-wheeler trails. It's like there's
Mhm.
another one right here.
And if I remember correctly, all three of these parcels are a touch over an acre. So of course, the 1 acre is at full market value, but he actually is being, his buffer was put in at poor because of the excessive topography issues. He always has the option to even combine the 3 lots, which would lower his assessed value.
It almost looks like they built, it's hard to tell, built a pretty good road about here. See, it gets pretty narrow there on a lot of these trees. But from here on, this road is
Yeah, it's
really
tough.
scary.
so these three
Chrissy,
parcels
can you-
though.
Can you break? There you go. Yeah, that top loop, they said from top loop down, it's steep all the way down through there.
Just the further south you go, the worse the road gets.
Yep. Well, from what I see,
Well, that's why they're getting a full buffer.
I'll make a motion to deny 2331, 2332, and 2333.
Second,
Move to second, all in favor, please say aye.
I,
Aye, motion carries.
My coffee.
Okay, where are we going next? 34? BB.
Oh,
Ah,
get to swear at
I
him.
do need to swear.
please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Welcome, I have not met you.
Well, go introduce yourself.
Welcome to the group.
Yeah, are you the rookie in the?
Yeah, I am the rookie, so.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Boy, this is a small lot. How did we get such a small lot out in that area? Oh, this is on
Norwood.
Norwood. This is down there. What's her name?
Two. It's not even 2 acres, it's 0.2.
Quarter of an
0.24.
acre.
Quarter of an acre.
Quarter of an acre. This
On
is
sewer
down.
and water.
What's the gal's name? I can't remember.
Not Margot Sub, this is beside.
Next to it, around the corner.
That Margot Crockett is the one that's beside it.
Marco's down at the end of the peninsula. But there is a pivot there. You can see that.
It's Gruthis.
Oh, that's on
Groothiest.
Margo?
That's where
That's what Tamarack Falls.
pivot is gonna be Tamarack Falls.
Hey, Bob, go ahead.
All right. So this is for appeal BB 2334. Property owners Lee and Kristen Harrison Family Trust. Parcel number RP 00077000040. The subject property is located at 12914 Norwood Road, Donnelly, Idaho. Property consists of 0.2404 acres of good land grade. The parcel includes a two-story, 1,996 square foot home built in 1998, graded as average. Below is the values for the last 3 years. The appellant offered no comparable sales. The reason for the protest is they purchased it in September of 2021 for $815,000. And they looked up the FHFA HPI index and thought that the increase was over the national average.
Did we ever get verification that that's actually what they purchased it for? This is just an
Yeah,
original.
I looked up the
So that
doc
is
number.
actually the closing
Yeah.
amount. Okay.
There was another transfer after that, so it doesn't come up in. The new one comes up as a non-qualified because it was they removed somebody from the deed. But if you look up the old records, yeah, it was 815.
Square footage.
So if you did it at the 815, I mean, if we took it from there,
If we time adjusted,
we time adjusted, what does that bring it to?
from Anthony's table, it would time adjust out to 982,000. Which is about 64,000 less than what we currently have it valued at.
Where's the square
And the
footage
actual
thing?
sales in that area,
Square.
Right now, their price per square foot is $292.20.
very low.
Very.
Built
Yeah,
in
for-
98.
They're part of the Cascade Reservoir Lakefront neighborhood. So looking at those comparables, I
They've got
pulled up,
direct access to the,
what's that?
they've got direct access.
Yeah,
So knowing that, are we doing beachfront in Cascade? I mean, McCall's beachfronts.
We don't assess it by the front foot. Anthony has done numerous analysis through the years to see if properties are selling by the front foot that are on the lake, and they don't.
You
They
don't-
just don't. And so we address it with a land grade, which I think a good land grade on that parcel is very conservative. As you know, on down further to the south, we've got all those in it very goods. This one isn't quite as close as those. So having a good land grade on it, I feel is conservative and accurate.
So Sherry, explain that 815 that you were talking about.
That's their actual sale price. I just wanted to make sure this contract was only, had the buyer's initials on it, didn't have the seller's initials on it.
Right?
So that's what it actually sold for.
In 21.
And then if we time adjusted it to today, that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
find out is
That's what
that
you were
would've been.
talking about.
So it would've been
Time.
980, but the sales in the area are actually higher than the time adjusted price.
Right.
To use as a comparable, so.
Okay, that's what I was asking about, the time adjustment. Okay. And what I see is it's right on the money.
You guys know when this picture was taken? Does that pivot still work? Is all that still being?
That is an actually fairly new pivot within the last, I'd say 5 to 7 years. That pivot is brand new. Butch Gruthius, I hope I'm not butchering his name, actually had that put in.
Apparently, a lot of water used to run off in behind this house down to the lake. There's quite a little runoff draw there.
Mhm.
But I'll bet that water's been moved over towards the west and now comes out that other side. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
that-
looking at your land values. Your land values are actually, quite a bit less. Well, if you look at the average good, Christie, will you bring up the comp that ends in 70? Do you have that? RP.
So Christie, it's RP 00308 000 0070.
I believe that's off Dawn Drive. Nope, not.
Okay, so they're
Nope.
quite a ways away from an actual body of water. You can't get out onto the lake from there.
That's the average good land.
That'd be a little
Oh,
wet, but
interesting.
I don't think they can get on the lake.
You go back out again, I mean, depending on when that's taken, the bigger body of waters to the other side, does that dock, is that dry now because of the time of year it is? Who knows what that looks like, but
Well, it
Gotcha.
also has a lower land grade too.
Yeah, that's the,
average good, okay, so
Yeah, that's
that's
one
why the
separate.
land value is so much less than
Yes.
this one.
In fact, the first two comps that Bob provided are a half a land grade below the subject. And then the third is,
oh, I printed it off. Sorry.
Where's the
oh, I'm
excellent?
sorry.
Where's the excellent one out, Bob?
The excellent one's on Dawn
On
Drive,
Down, but
so
a
it's
direct
got,
access to the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they've got an excellent.
and they have an excellent, yeah. There's not a whole lot of goods on the Cascade Reservoir neighborhood. Because they're on the lake, but yet they're not directly right on the lake. So there's only a few parcels with that land grade. So I did try to pick some with fair, excellent, and average good. Yeah,
Bob, you guys know who owns this chunk out there? Is that Bureau? Never been built.
I don't know.
Click on it. Yep, government.
And I'm assuming the same with this stuff in here.
Wagon Wheel, that's the homeowners association, I believe. What's that?
Isn't that amazing?
But you get lost in there.
Oh, yeah.
I have been lost in there.
I
Yeah.
have too.
So the other one, effective years, but yeah, I think this is fine. I think you've done a good job.
Yep.
So Chairman, I would move that we deny 2334.
Second.
Moved to second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman. Neil needs coffee break.
Okay, let's take a real quick break. Doug, can you mute us and then we'll take a break and then come back.
So we've got one.
go.
Mr. Chairman, we're live.
Okay, welcome back online. We're gonna move on down to our next appeal, which is NA 2336.
2336.
Mhm. I set the documents, in front of on your desk there.
Big Mountain Ranch Golf Course. Oh, it's near this. Not on it?
It's the Pinewood View Estates, which is just that little loop there, but this
Oh, on the way
parcel,
in. Okay.
this parcel actually, sits right, butts up to the water there. Are you guys ready?
Well, you come in,
3.4 acres.
come in Ashton and.
You have Ashton and then down Pinewood, they're at the end of the
Pinewood.
cul-de-sac there.
Yep. I know right where you're at. Yep, yep.
So appeal number NA 2336, property owner Trey and Joe Hannah Butchert, parcel number RP 00501 000 located at 30 Pinewood Lane. It is east of Lake Fork near Jug Mountain Ranch Golf Course. The property consists of 3.4 acres. It's graded as excellent as it sits right there on the pond. Parcel also has an RV hookup. Below are the values for the last 3 years. Jerry and I actually fielded this property last summer, and they had added an RV hookup so they could have their RV there. And so we added the RV hookup for 2023.
That's the 10,700 value.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The appellant offered 4 comparable sales. And Maureen also prepared, so as you see, the subject sits at the top. It sold in 2020 for $245,000. The county comps and the appellant comps are all inferior, as we did not have any excellent land grade sales right there in that area. But as you can see, we have them assessed at $426,483. And even though the comps are inferior to the subject parcel, you can see that we're right in there, right in the middle.
Yeah, where's this lot 1? She says it's been sell for a year for 300,000. Is that the one on the north?
That would be to the north of the subject parcels on the, just straight
Top of
up,
Ashton?
over to the right, Christie, right, right, left, right, up a hair. That's lot 1, I believe.
300,000 for that one.
Yes. So obviously,
It was how many
not an excellent
acres?
land grade because it's not on the water. And then, let's see.
2 acres.
So this is just dirt with an RV hookup, and that's all it is, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They had a camp trailer there, hooked up to the RV hookup, of course, when Jerry and I were there that last summer.
Is there a house in that middle lot? Yeah, there is.
So that's a fairly new built house, probably 2 or 3 years old now.
Yep. Yeah, they got a good spot there.
Mm-hmm.
I know
They
that.
do. It's really nice.
I know that pond.
Yeah, it's actually very enjoyable.
I've got a ball or 2 in that pond.
And it's a nice quiet area. Too.
It is a nice quiet
Nice
area.
quiet area.
Oh, that's great.
But I wonder, interesting that one has been up there for so long at 300.
Well, I don't
Nice.
even remember seeing a for sale sign on it, so maybe it's not being actively marketed very well. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
The
Well,
one
and
in
that one's
between it
inferior
goes-
to the subject anyway, because it's not on the water.
The one in between it has a racetrack in it. That one there. See the racetrack?
Actually, it's
Must
just
be
like
four-wheeler.
Does look like that, doesn't it?
yeah, but it wasn't, when I was there last summer, I didn't, it wasn't evident that anything was excessive, like anything was going on there that was, like a 4-wheeler racetrack or motorcycle or anything like that.
Like something the
Oh, I
kids
think-
got out there to play.
Right.
I think this is a pretty fair value. I'll go ahead and make the motion that we deny 2336 and accept the appraiser's recommended valuation.
A second.
Moved in second, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Can I sign this one, Sue?
Nope.
It looks like an original.
Amazed they haven't built
I know
one.
Dee Dee wrote on it with her green pen.
Six.
That's not in today.
Well, if you wanna do yours next, or,
You don't have to be afraid. He's not gonna swear at you again.
So this is BB 2337. Henriksen Family Trust.
Henriksen?
Don't trip over that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, my couple of wires out
Wagon Road,
there. This is small.
0.7.
Oh, Warren Wagon Road, I got it.
This is Payette Lakefront.
On the lake. So how do you do this one, Sue, if they're actually on the lakefront on Payette Lake?
oh, Payette Lake is assessed by the front foot,
It is.
20,400 per foot.
20,000?
That's a very conservative assessment.
That's what I've
Because
heard.
the analysis actually came out, we should have been about 20, just above 23,000 per front foot. The most recent sale was in, I think, February, that was Payette Lakefront, which indicated that one sold for 20,400. So we were conservative.
So the lakefront is actually pushing the price, the whole thing.
Yeah, so the
Can
lakefront
you get a picture of the cabin?
values are valued off of only lakefront sales.
Right.
I think I know this one. It's an
It's
old
Henriksen.
one.
It's an older one, yeah.
Yes. Are we ready?
Nope.
Okay. So it's the PO BB 2337, property owner is Hendrickson Family Trust. Parcel number is RP 006590010010. The subject property is located at 3960 Warden Wagon Road in McCall. Property consists of 1.743 acres on Payette Lakefront with 116.94 foot frontage. The parcel includes a two-story, 1,288 square foot home built in 1971. It's never been updated, so it's still 1971 as the effective year. Below is the average value for the last 3 years. So the appellant didn't offer any comparables. He did give us a copy of a private appraisal dated March 1st, 2016. He purchased the land at auction from the state for $400,000 in 2016. And
Built on 20-foot diameter boulders.
so it sounds like, from what he's saying, he can rebuild if he keeps the same footprint.
I
He-
wonder why that is.
It's a city of McCall, we receive building permits sometimes around the lake and in McCall, where it says it's a remodel. And I swear they keep like one side
Have to save
of the
it all.
foundation,
Yep.
not even the walls, and then rebuild a whole new home.
Mhm.
So it's something to do with the city of McCall. I don't know if it's their planning and zoning or their building department or what the ordinance or the law is for them.
It's a grandfathered
Yeah,
code that,
okay.
if you save
A
one
portion, yep.
portion of the wall, they allow you to
It's not even a wall.
build. Yeah, I know. It's
It's like the
foundation.
That's it.
Is this the, zoom out a bit, I mean, this should be.
So he sits a little closer to the lake than current code would allow.
That's the difference is
And I
because
think
of that.
I think
So he's
also-
currently getting a 25% discount on his land for topography. It's a little rocky and steep.
Yeah.
And he's getting 11% discount for excess frontage.
Mhm.
So he is getting discounts already. And like I said, the effective year is still 1971, so the has the depreciation. He's coming in well below everybody else on pay at Lakefront.
Oh, he is well below. Gotta be tickled.
I'm curious if this is really in the impact area of McCall though.
It's Dead Horse subdivision. It's quite a ways up. Oh,
Well, they're past the Narrows.
looks like Chrissy highlighted the impact area for you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's, I guess it never hurts to ask. Hey, what's your pleasure here?
I'll make a motion that we deny DB 2337.
I have some more questions. This one gives me a little bit of a pause, simply because they can't do anything with that existing cabin. I mean, they have to basically tear it down and redo.
What do you mean they can't do any, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, they can't do anything to the existing structure. Okay, so that structure has to be either torn down to do anything.
No, what,
And it's,
is that a McCall city code or what is that?
well, it's our code because we adopted them all city codes. So, and that's what I'm looking at, the improvement value since 21 to 23 has more than doubled. So we haven't, but they can't do anything with it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, 1971, they're receiving depreciation back. I mean,
So-
we don't have an effective year of anything newer.
Okay, so we are using the effective year.
So the effective year is the same as the year build of 1971. And
Yeah,
yes, that's
Pretty obvious, the value's in the land, not in the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
right. And even then, they're getting a large discount because of the topography down to the lake, large boulders and what have you.
So they're getting 25 plus, what'd you say, 11?
11%.
Yeah.
So 36%.
Reduction in value
Reduction.
on the land. So their price per square foot comes in at 405.
Mm-hmm.
And the other pay at lakefront sales are, I mean, the closest one to it
Wow.
was built in 96 and is at 844.
And the price per square foot is much lower. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. I'll second Neil's motion.
Okay.
With a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Aye, motion carries to deny 2337.
Now the one fairly close to him sold for 4.2.
Yeah.
If it were undervalued.
Crazy, isn't it?
I just had to get it in my mind.
Yep. Circled the wagon.
You're really good at going, hey, don't mess with us. Do you know that?
I just don't want to go in
I've had a
this.
lot of years
You're
of
much more-
experience.
I don't want to go in the circles that Brian was talking about a little while ago.
Oh,
I don't want to go in those circles.
Okay, the next one up is 2338.
hold on.
AA 2338.
I am doing that one.
Did we skip 2335 for some reason?
We did,
That's a
Jen
fun one
is
at
doing
one.
that one at 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's a 1 o'clock one.
Yes, and then the very last one on the list, Justine was gonna try to get a hold of that lady to see if she was gonna be here or not.
I believe I heard her speaking.
Oh, good. And she is coming. So once we do this one that I'm about to do, which is actually an appraiser request, we'll just have those two left to do at 1 and 1:30. Okay, so.
Ooh. You ever sing that song, Sherry?
Which one?
I love my job.
I do.
I love my job. I don't don't always like politics, but I love my job.
Politics sucks.
All right, so this gentleman called in and talked to Noreen sometime during the month of June before the appeal deadline. And this was a tax code area split. And so by no fault of their own, the tax code split is done by the state. So the two parcels that this gentleman owned should have been valued as if combined. And they were not. This parcel is not being valued as if combined. So when we got this appeal in, Noreen initiated this appeal because she did not get them called back in time. And so she's just merely, this is a cleanup, trying to fix an error. So the assessed value that went out on his assessment was $207,389. If you value this parcel as if combined with RP 00077000040C, the new assessed value would be $80,856. And that is what we are requesting that the board order to be fair and equitable.
Is he ever gonna combine them?
He can't. It's a tax code area split.
And so is that like a neighborhood designation? The state does that and not us?
Correct. The state is who determines the boundaries for the tax code areas.
What, can you explain tax code areas to me?
So each tax code area has the different entities that they pay taxes into.
Okay.
And the state is the one who determines those tax code area boundaries. And so the state
there it
doesn't
is.
follow like subdivision lines. They literally, and how they determine that, I'm not sure.
Sure.
But they're the ones that determine it. So they will send us information once a year that if there's a new tax code area created, that we have to split those parcels apart because one will be tax code area 40 and one will be tax code area 41. And those two parcels would pay into different taxing districts.
But I mean, they wouldn't cut somebody's parcel in half. They would.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. And that's what this situation is.
Oh, my goodness.
And yeah, and so
Well,
it's
he
not,
owns all 4 of those. So why is this situation not the same on the bottom one?
I
He
believe,
owns all 4 of them.
I believe that one is being assessed appropriately. This one somehow got missed.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, I would move that we approve the assessor's request for the error correction of 2338.
Chrissy, could you go down to that one below that with that big giant house on it? What's the
That's
square
his
foot?
house.
Oh, he owns that too?
Yeah.
He owns both of those parcels.
This was,
Almost looks like a garage or something.
I'll second that.
oh,
Well, he owns all 4 of those probably.
He does. That's why I'm wondering why that one isn't an issue too.
This one
but-
got missed in being valued as if combined.
And that's a big house on the bottom.
And
Yeah.
so this one,
That thing's huge.
this parcel would be valued as if combined with this, because as you can see, they
Look at all the skylights on that thing.
built. And
Oh,
those
this got split into 2 parcels because of the tax code area boundaries.
Gotta go for a
After
drive.
they built, obviously. And then this one,
What about the one on the right, the bare one? Who's that?
someone else.
That's Severs.
So he's not questioning his assessed value. They're just talking about fixing that tax code.
Right, so
Piece.
when the tax code area split came through, this used to be all one parcel.
Right.
And with the tax code area split, now it's 2. And so now we're just gonna value these 2 parcels
Like
as
this
if they were one,
subdivision
because
plats.
that's what we do for everybody
So
in that
that's
situation.
going to stay like that
Yeah.
unless the state
He
changes
does
it.
the boundaries for a tax code area, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So when he sells it, he's still selling it as one piece of property, even though it's still going to be cut.
Okay, we got a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Uh,
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's
That's why we
interesting.
don't, that's why we don't have any
So I think
heartburn.
that got left out of the subdivision, that's why there's concern. Those two rectangular parcels are not part of that subdivision, are not part of that subdivision. So,
All things we learn.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Thompson, or Commissioner Mopin, just to clarify, that was to accept the appraiser's request for a correction to the value.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, last one on the list, 2339.
Nope, that one's at 1:30. That's
Oh,
gonna be a
that's at
personal
1:30.
appearance. So I guess we need to,
We will table the or recess from BOE and see everyone back here at 1 o'clock.
yes. Millen at 1 and Camus Place Cabin at 1:30.